Hey everyone, thanks for joining Learn to Play Games. My name is Lance, and today I'm going to look at a brand new game coming to Kickstarter called Nutty Squirrels. This is a new one by Tin Robot Games. It is a 1 to 6 player game that takes roughly 15 to 45 minutes to play. It is a competitive game where each player is competing with the other players to get the most acorns at the end of the game. So in the game itself, each player is going to be playing a squirrel that is going to get action points during their turn, and they're going to spend those action points to carry out a number of different actions that allow them to race around the tree, trying to flip over cards to find and explore, looking for new acorns and power-up cards that will give them special abilities that they can use during their turn to hopefully gather enough acorns that they will be the winner at the end of the game. So in this video, I'm going to take you through showing you the main features of the game, and then I'll finish it off with a sample turn. As always, if you find these videos helpful, if you like what I do, please consider that like button, subscribing to my channel. It's one of the easiest ways you can support channels like mine, so we can continue to grow and produce this content. If you want to stay up to date on all my videos that I release, also consider ringing that bell so you get notifications anytime I release new stuff. So let's head to the table, and we'll see what this one's all about. First, I want to start with the player dashboards themselves. So each player is going to receive one of these and will show the image of their squirrel, and they'll also gain a squirrel meeple of that color. Throughout the game, as players move around the tree, they're going to be gathering acorns that they're going to be placing in their cheeks. So at most, the player can hold 2 acorns at any time, as they have 2 spots in their cheeks. They'll also, when they make their way back to the central trunk, they'll be placing these acorns into their nest. And then from there, they can spend action points to move them and bury them in the ground, where they're going to be worth points at the end of the game. As the players move around the tree, they're also going to come in contact with different power cards that they can equip and use throughout the rest of the game, such as a backpack to let them store an additional acorn, or the sugar rush that's going to give them an additional action point per turn, or even sticky fingers where they can steal acorns from other players, which could be really useful if those players come into contact with the golden acorns, which are going to be worth 5 points if they bury them. And there are 2 different types of acorns. You'll have the golden acorns, and then these standard ones. These standard ones are worth 1 point, where again the golden acorns are worth 5. As the players race around the tree and uncover new cards, there's also 5 other types of cards that players are going to find besides the power-up cards. Most of these cards are going to be acorn reveal cards. When you reveal one of these, you'll place that number of acorns on there, such as this one with 3, or the precious golden acorn ones. You're also going to find some branches that will not have any acorns, or the worst, which is the broken branch, where a player is going to lose any acorns that they have in their cheeks, as well as end their turn immediately, losing any other action points that they have. And the final thing I want to show you is a couple sample turns. I also want to go through endgame conditions and a few other things. Before getting into that, I do want to mention that all of the materials you see here are prototype materials and are subject to change, and are going to look a lot better in the final production copy of the game. So with that being said, the first thing I want to talk about are endgame conditions. There are 2 different ways this game is going to end. First, when the final leaf card is revealed, the players will complete that round and will take 1 final round, with each player getting 1 final turn. At that point, the players are going to total up all of the points that they have buried, and the player that has the most points will be the winner of the game. The other way the game is going to end is if one of the players is able to bury 20 points worth of acorns. In that situation, that will be the winning player. From there, let's get into the game itself. So I went ahead and played some rounds already to get into a little bit more of the middle of the game. So as you can see, we have some broken branches, and some of our players are able to have some powers and stuff. So it's getting quite interesting at this point, and some of our players have been able to stash some of their acorns and whatnot. So we're going to move into it, and we'll go ahead and start with the orange squirrel over here. So during each squirrel's turn, they get 3 action points that they can use to do a variety of different things, including moving from branch to branch or from branch to the trunk, being able to flip over cards that have not been revealed yet, and being able to deposit acorns and bury acorns and all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and go with our orange player first. So he is going to go ahead and flip over this card here and see what we have. Oh no, it's a broken branch. So he has fallen. He will lose any acorns in his cheeks, and then his meeple will be placed back on the central trunk. And his turn is over at that point, and he has lost all of the rest of his actions. So then we're going to move over to our gray squirrel here. So he gets to go. And I think we're going to flip this card over and see what happens. And it's the golden acorn, so we will place one there. he gets to pick that up for free and place it in one of his cheeks. So that was his first action. He's going to go ahead and move for his second, and he'll pick up that for free. And I don't think I'm going to risk it at this point, so I'm simply going to move back to there. Then it's going to go over to my next player to go. So she has definitely noticed that he has one of those golden acorns, and she happens to have the sticky fingers card that lets her steal. So now she would love to take that golden acorn from our gray squirrel, but unfortunately, even with her extra action that she has, that would take all 4 of her actions, as it costs 2 action points to go over a card that has a broken branch. So she would have just enough to get there, but then she needs an action point to be able to steal that acorn. So instead, she is going to, let's go ahead and try to get some other acorns. So she's going to have to spend 2 actions to move here. She'll move here for her third. She gets to pick up that acorn for free, and then she'll go ahead and flip this card over and see what we have. So we have some more acorns. So at this point, then we'll place those out, and she will go ahead and place one of those in her cheeks. From there, it's going to move back over to our orange player, and he is just surrounded by broken branches. So he's going to move over here. That's 2 to go to here for his third action, and then he will store that in his cheeks. Moving back over to gray, he definitely wants to be able to bank those, so he's going to move 2 and 3, moving back there. And that will finish off his turn. So then we're going to move back over to our black player. So she is going to move 2, 3, and that will let her stash those. And then she's going to go ahead and move off onto there. So that'll give you a basic idea of how the game plays to help you decide whether or not this is one you want to back on Kickstarter. If you have any questions or comments, leave those in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer them. Or swing by the Kickstarter's main page and drop any questions you have there as well. I'm sure they would love to hear from you and are more than happy to answer any questions you have. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my videos and leave me feedback on them. I do really appreciate it, and I take into account everything you say to make the best possible videos. And until next time, I'll see you later.